To crash or not to crash? That is the question. Want to know what's going on? Keep watching this video. It's Cristina Ingram here with the Ingram Group of Keller Realty, Las Vegas, and here to talk to you about the housing market. I'm sure you all have been seeing either people telling you the housing market's 100% okay, or that shit is hitting the fan and the zombies are coming to eat your brains. But anyways, so they're telling you it's either a crash or it's fine. While there's some truth to both of those sentiments, neither is 100% accurate. Let's dive into it and figure out what exactly is going on. So right now we are going through basically an adjustment period. We like to call it a shift, basically is what we call it in the real estate industry. So it's shifting either from one market to another. And we are feeling that shift of it going from a seller's market on steroids to basically a more neutral leaning towards a buyer's market. According to NAR economist Lawrence Yun, he actually thinks we're gonna be okay. Lawrence Yun is actually saying that the housing market is going to slow down as far as home prices go, but nationwide we should see a 1% increase in equity. So basically it's negligible. It's not really going to appreciate too much more, but you're not going to be in dire needs and decline either going forward in 2023. Why are people telling you, oh, it's fine, it's going to go up $1 million still, and then you've got the other ones, it's crashing, it's this? Because basically we went from having no inventory to having about, I think right now we're at about 4.5, 5 months of inventory. So at least it is for that way in the Las Vegas market. So he's saying it's going to matter, it's going to be a very localized market. So you're going to have to check with your real estate expert in your area and figure out, is your area declining or appreciating or just staying flat? Right now, Vegas is very slow right now. You're going to have to get with your local real estate expert and figure out whether your market is declining or increasing or basically staying the same. Right now, Vegas, it's going to depend on what you're looking for and what area you're looking for. Some are going quicker than others. Again, a lot of it has to do with the condition of the property and if it's the nicest property, because it's a beauty contest basically. Everyone wants the prettiest house. So basically Lawrence Yun is saying you're going to have to get with your local real estate expert and figure out whether your market is going up or down. So right now, Vegas, it's going to depend on the neighborhood. It's going to depend on your property. It's going to depend on whether it's updated this. So basically it's in a beauty contest right now and you're in competition with other homes. But once interest rates, if they start to soften a lot more, because we got good news on inflation, then they might loosen up the interest rates and that means more buyers are going to come back in the market. And we're still basically at a relatively low inventory as far as we're concerned, because builders actually slowed down their building too because the demand slowed down, so they didn't want to have inventory just sitting around either, especially if their building costs have gone up and if they've got to lower prices some. So why are some people telling you that everything's great? Probably because they just don't want to believe that there might be some softening and it's going to be a hard market for them and they're just going to have to navigate it through right now. So no, we're not skipping through a meadow and smelling the roses and chasing butterflies in this real estate market right now. It's a little tough and there is some price decreases, but these price decreases are from, people paying above appraised value. So you're talking about from the tippy top. So if you bought your house a year ago, you're still okay. So don't worry. And if you bought earlier this year at the tippy top and you overpaid, if you're planning to stay in that home for a while, you're going to be fine. So don't let these people who are telling you it's crashing and that you're gonna have no equity left, they're not right either. So you're either getting the shit scared out of you or you're telling everybody not to worry. There should be some concern, and right now you need to take a look at why you want to purchase or why you want to sell a home. So if it's a necessary thing, then yes, you're going to be okay. I mean, you've got to do what you got to do. If you're looking to buy, you should still be fine if your goal is to be in the home or hold the property long term. If you're thinking that I just want to get in and out because over the last 2 years we were seeing crazy appreciation, that's not going to happen either. But 2008 is not going to happen either. A different animal changed that market than what's changing this market. So what is happening with this market is, obviously, you guys, we just had an election and heard all about inflation and whose fault is it, whatever. The reality of the situation is the government, they're not economists. They don't know what the hell they're doing most of the time anyways. So they were overreacting to the pandemic and throwing so much money into the economy just to spark it so we didn't come to a standstill. And so all these people have all this extra money, and a lot of people still have that money saved. So until that gets down a little bit more, inflation was on the rise. And of course, inflation outpaced people's incomes, and so did housing. So that made, when they started to raise the interest rates, that made housing unaffordable for many. And they're having to go down to different price ranges, where in a lot of markets, those houses are not available. So because those prices aren't available, those are like 5 years ago price. That price is not here. And nor do we think that it's going to go back that way either. So we're just going through an adjustment period and trying to figure it out. Now in 2008, what drove those prices is, the reason why it crashed was irresponsible lending. Basically, if we want to get it down to a nutshell, you basically, all you did have, you'd have a pulse and you could submit whatever and they'd give you a loan for $500,000. You could get a loan for $500,000, no money down, a day out of bankruptcy, and be able to move in, and you could buy it as an investment on top of it. And sometimes they were giving people cash back. So when you had that happen, and then the subprime market, which with people with subpar credit were able to get homes with no money down, no skin in the game, then and they were on these adjustable mortgages, and then when those interest rates started to trend up because they couldn't go to the lower anymore, they couldn't afford their house payment anymore. And so then when that market crashed, then you had these people who were in their homes and they bought it as a starter, had great credit, but then they're looking at it saying this is going to be a 7 to 10 year market correction, because it's exactly what happened. And it's better if I let it go and then repair my credit in 3 years, be able to buy. And that's what a lot of people did. They strategically got out of their homes, and so the housing market literally crashed and drove that recession. Every recession does not mean that you're going to lose equity in your home. Out of the last 5 recessions, the one in 2008 was the one where we saw a significant decrease, 40 to 60% in some markets, of housing prices. And that is because that recession was driven 100% solely by the housing market. So if you look at what Lawrence Yun says, he basically did say, that in 2023, he sees that sales is going to decrease by about 7%, housing sales, but median housing prices is going to increase about 1% from where they're at today. Whereas, and then in 2024, he says we're going to have a huge rebound back, where you're going to see an increase in 10% sales and 5% appreciation. So we're going back to normal appreciation, because appreciation normally is between 4 to 7%. These where we're seeing 10, 15, 20, in some markets 30%. That is not a realistic or sustainable appreciation. So please don't listen to the people that were telling you that we're fine, or they're telling you that it's going to be a crash, because it's just an uncomfortable part that we're in right now, and people are wanting to deny what's actually going on. So they're over here saying everything's fine, and then you got people scaring the shit out of you saying, the zombies are going to come and eat your brains out and take all your equity in your home. That is not going to happen either. So sit tight. You're going to be okay. Just really, if you're going to get in this market, make sure your motivations are properly, because real estate is a long-term investment. It is not a short-term investment by any means unless you're able to buy a property already back by 25 to 40% back of value. And those are usually distressed properties. You're not going to see very many of those right now. So if you want to be informed in this market, please check out some of my videos. We try to keep you up to date on what's going on locally, what's going on nationally, and some of the fun things to do here in Las Vegas. And we are looking to be your real estate expert by choice. So if you're looking to buy or sell in the Las Vegas market, in Henderson, Summerlin, Mount Charleston, Lake Las Vegas, and all those places in between, give me a call. And if you like our videos, please hit like, subscribe, and hit the bell. And I will talk to you guys next week. Have a good one.